shirt. Too sexy for my shirt, so sexy it hurts. And I am too sexy for Milan, too sexy for Milan, New York and Japan.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to this week's version of Doing It with Styles. I had the good fortune, as most of you know, attending the Days of the Dead Horror Fest over at Plaza Hotel, and that's HORROR. So just not to be confused in the other kind. Um, anyway, I had the opportunity. I met this young lady in the elevator, as a matter of fact. I was trying to find where I was going. I was lost, and she gave me directions. And then it turns out that she was also in the booth right across from us. And she is Alyssa Oxford, and she is a celebrity handler. Now, we've all been to the conventions or we've been somewhere and you see that, you got the celebrity there and you got all the pictures and you got somebody that's, taking the money and doing that stuff. And that's what Alyssa does. Is that correct, Alyssa?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Handler is essentially the personal assistant for the guest for the weekend.
And you're also the one that says, I'm sorry, we got to go. He doesn't have time right now. We got to get out of here, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, we're the bad guy sometimes. uh, so basically we keep schedules on track, make sure that, when you're going to see your favorite guest at their panels or going to get that photo op done, coming up to the table to get that autograph. We're the person that is there with that guest, making sure all that's happening on time and your celebrity is there when they need to be, because they're making sure that they're paying attention to the fans. Their time is better spent on you as the guest. Their
Right.
time is better spent with the fans, paying attention to your questions and interacting with you. So we're there to take care of kind of that menial day to day, just making sure all those schedules are taken care of.
So is this I mean, how do you get your work? How do you, do you belong to an agency or is it a freelance thing or you just know somebody or how does that all come about for a handler?
That's probably the question I get more than anything else. Without fail, every single show, there's always a guest, an attendee that comes up to the table and they'll always tell my guest, I'm here to talk to her. I have a question. The question is always, how do I get to sit where you are? And it comes about in a lot of different ways for different people. For me in particular, it started out, I was actually a high profile nanny when I was a teenager. And I had a friend who owned one of the larger conventions out here at the time. It was still one of the smaller conventions. And they were bringing in more and more guests and needed some additional help with handling. And I just kind of got brought on as one of the additional volunteers because I had experience in that field of working with different guests and being in that kind of environment. So everybody comes about it a little different. The easiest way to kind of get into the world is go to your favorite, convention in town and just simply volunteer. Sign up to volunteer. Just start with whatever they can offer. A lot of times we'll start off just, working the doors, working lines, helping with the ticket booths, and express interest in guest relations. And once you have done that for a little while and shown, that you can be in that environment and you don't have any trouble kind of running those schedules and
Right.
being around those situations, you'll be placed over time usually. And then you just take it from there. Some people do travel with agents. Some people do travel with celebrities. Those are usually like friends and family. And a
Right.
lot of people bring along like their kids or their wives. And
Right.
so it's all different avenues.
So and if I understand this correctly, like let's say Creation that puts on the Star Trek thing, do they provide the handlers for the stars that appear there, or is it something that you know somebody that knows somebody that hooks you up with one of the stars?
It was a little bit crackly. So are you saying like, let's say it once more?
Okay, I'm sorry. Is that better? Can you hear me better now?
Much
Okay, sorry. Um, so Creation Entertainment that puts on the Star Trek conventions. So
Yeah.
would they be the group that provides the handlers for the guests or the celebrities, or do the celebrities, like call up the agency and say, "Hey, I need somebody to take care of me," or how exactly does that work?
I've never worked for Creation, so I can't speak to them
Right,
specifically. But as far as different groups, when they go to the different conventions, it's a whole hodgepodge, actually. I don't know about, say, like you're saying, the Creation event specifically, because I know that they have a lot of different
yeah,
fandoms.
I was just using them as an example of.
But for any convention, you're actually going to have a whole mix at every convention that I have personally been to. Where some guests will bring a family member to help them.
Right.
Some guests will have help from an agent. Some guests will have a handler assigned to them from the convention themselves.
Okay.
So it really is a mix every single time. So depending on which avenue you go through, you could wind up working quite a few different conventions. I work an assortment myself, and I could be doing it different ways depending on different conventions. So, you know, it's, I try and tell people, it's a very big business, it's a very big community, lots of different conventions, but it's a um, very small group of people. Like we all know each other. You
Okay.
run into your friends all the time. I can go to, like when I met you, apologies.
No.
Um, I ran into a lot of friends when I was up in Vegas. I'm based out of Phoenix. I've gone out to Colorado, and that goes for the attendees as well. I see attendees at all kinds of shows. I've been doing it for about 20 years now, and I see people all over the country at all different shows. And you get to know the families, you get to know the kids, you get to know, their different cosplays, you get to know everything. And the fans are really the best part. They truly are. They are the best part of the show.
And there was one individual in particular, and I think you guys were right next to him. That was Derek Mears. I was watching him with the guests, and he seemed to be having as much fun as the fans were. And I mean, he really related to them, and with just like old friends, and it that kind of situation really makes a convention for the people that are coming there. You know, most of my experiences with those people have been a real positive experience. There's been a few that weren't, but they're just there for the bucks or whatever. But and I'm sorry, well, never mind. I'm not going to name names, but the celebrity that you were with, she seemed the same way, that she enjoyed interacting with the guests and was kind of having fun being there. So,
Yeah, people, I've always had good experiences. The guests really do enjoy being there. If the guests are there, they're there because they want to be. Don't be afraid to, interact. A lot of times attendees will come up and they'll be a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
You know, they'll have kind of that shake in their voice, or they'll have that little shake when they're coming up, and you know that that person is, you know, it's probably their first time meeting someone or they're a big fan. And I try and kind of tease around a little bit. I'll be like, okay, let's do a breathing exercise. And we'll kind of laugh a little bit. And if we can get a little bit of a laugh going, they'll calm down. And
Right.
we'll start to say, oh, do you have a favorite fandom? What's your favorite movie? Is there something that you really like? And if we can kind of talk a little bit, then by the time my guest has finished chatting with that guest, we can segue them into the conversation. And before they know it, they're chatting. It's really hard when somebody comes up and they get an autograph and they've bought this experience, this autograph, and they walk up and they get that autograph, and then they're so nervous that they just take it and they run away without saying a single word. And it's okay. Ask a question. Say hello. You know, they're there to greet you. They're there to meet their fans. They really do enjoy it. You know, they're genuinely happy when you see the guests that are friendly and bubbly and having fun. It's because they really are having fun. It is a good time. Like I said, the fans are the best part, and you never know who you're going to run into. I
Yeah.
have so much fun talking to these people. They come up, and I have some of the most extraordinary conversations with attendees in line while we're waiting for somebody to finish up their conversation. I've met people from all walks of life. And, you know, you never know when somebody's dressed up as Wonder Woman or a Powerpuff Girl or whatever they are. You don't know what their day job is. They're lawyers, they're doctors, they're professionals. You know, they are everything. And we start talking about amazing things, and they're just fans. They're just there to have fun. And the same with the celebrities. They really are there because they want to be there. So enjoy it.
They've actually paid money to be there, so they must want to be there, right?
Well,
It'd be another thing if it was free, you know, and just everybody shows up. But I mean, when you have to pay to go to these conventions, even if it's only $5 or $10 or whatever, they have taken their money and said, "I want to do this. I want to be here, and here's my commitment." So, you know,
you know, and the guests, they value that. You know, the guests value the fact that you're waiting in line to meet them. They value the fact that you are spending your time out of your day, and you're taking time off of work to come and see them, and that you have gone through a photo op and paid for that, and then come to the table and paid for a selfie, and then paid for an autograph. Like, they are extraordinarily appreciative, and it's very heartwarming. You know, that's why people like me are there to take care of their day to day, because they really do want to invest all of their time in you. They
yeah.
want to spend their time talking to you. They want to spend their time, you know, with the fans. That's what they're there for.
Yeah. Well, I told you about my experience with Robert Picardo. So, you know, and you saw the interview. I sent you the interview. And that was, you know, to me, because I am a huge Star Trek fan. I have been since day one. And
They're a lot of fun.
and well, you can see I've got some of the pictures up on the wall of, you know, from way back when. But the it's a you talk about the diversity of the people that show up there. I have a friends that are, you know, retired Air Force colonels. You know, he and his wife are big cosplayers and show up at almost all of the conventions. And you know, well, I can't tell you what he worked in, but but you know, it was just if he told you that, you'd go, whoa, you know. So and that's what I love about these conventions, regardless of what they are. Even the cosplays are a lot of fun. You know, the whole thing is the different people from all different walks of life, and you know, young people, old people, black, white, yellow, blue, green, whatever. They all come together with that common, you know, commonality that we
Yeah.
all enjoy. And
Yeah.
that's what gives me hope about, our society, and that we'll make it. One way or the other, we'll make it. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. It is. That is that right nail on the head. It is so heartwarming, no matter what your challenges in life are, no matter what your ethnicity is, no matter what your economic background, no matter what your, job is, it does not matter at
Yep.
these conventions. It doesn't matter. When you show up, everybody is family. Everybody has fun together.
Yeah.
Everybody enjoys spending the days together. You can go to some of the best conventions and some of the smallest conventions. It doesn't matter. Everybody there loves everybody. I work a fantastic convention. It's called Game On. It is all about retro gaming,
Yeah.
and it's about bringing back, just the nostalgia of our childhood, and voice actors and all kinds of amazing things that just bring back those warm, fuzzy feelings. We have gaming areas where it's just full of tabletop games, and you can walk by there and people that don't even know each other just sitting down playing together. It's just full of love and friendliness, and it's mind-blowing how fast people come together at these conventions. And it's one of my, like I said, the band's my favorite part about it. It's just a place where you can go and feel the love. It really is. I
Yeah.
thoroughly enjoy it. I thoroughly do.
And most of the times when I'm at the conventions, not always, but most of the time I'm there, it's there because I'm working. I have clients that I go out and we film the interviews and things like that. But I always go away with a whole bunch of new friends. And, it's like you get cards and you get, emails and Facebooks and all that stuff. And so it's just, it's fun. And it really is. And when you say it's heartwarming, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And it's like I got a chance to meet you, and that was, like kind of almost like fate, because we met in the elevator. I had no idea, where you were going. You had no idea where I was going, and then here we are later. And I hope that I didn't offend your celebrity by my unconventional approach to things. And thank you for not thinking I was just some creepy old dude. Or maybe you did it first and you realized, well, maybe it's not so bad.
Was
Um,
charm. Was charm.
Thank you.
Very
Um, it's just if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it with style. No, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to have fun. And
Yep.
there's no point in being there if you don't. I mean, let me ask you this. You said you've been doing this for almost 20 years now?
Yes.
Okay. Is there one event or one particular individual that stands out most in your mind that was like, this was the best time I ever had with this celebrity or this convention? And you don't have to tell us who, but
we all have our convention loves, where there are certain people that we definitely connect with, and you do, form friendships. And there are a couple of people who, I have lasting friendships with. And honestly, the best weekends that I've had have just been ones where we've had calm, just day to day, where we've sat and hung out and, spent the weekend just sitting in the food cart, eating hot dogs and hanging out and just talking. I really enjoy my my more senior guests, I love hearing stories. I love hearing just all the nostalgia. It's really my favorite
Yeah.
times, really, I'd say. Because those are things that I feel like can be lost easy and they're not paid attention to enough. Um,
Listen, I agree with you on that 100%. That one of the things that is gratifying going to these conventions is seeing the younger people that are coming in, because I don't know how to explain it. There is and maybe it's just because I'm old, the class that most people brought with them in that industry, or the actors and the directors and producers, that and that there was just something there that it seems to me we're losing as time goes on, and it's sad for me. It's sad. I hate to see that, but every once in a while you see somebody who is bringing that back, and it's just like, yeah,
mhm.
come on, you go. So anyway, how about the worst case? What's the worst part of your job? What's the hardest part that, oh God, I got to do that. But you have to do that because you can't do the other stuff if you don't.
I wouldn't say it's the hardest part, but it's the part that I do, and I don't actually mind doing it because um, it's something that it gives me an opportunity to help. Is definitely being the bad guy. It is my responsibility to step forward when people or you know if somebody is being a little bit too, um, pushy,
Yeah,
or, when I'm working on the management side of things, there are certain people who like to try and take advantage of situations. Like, we have people who pay extra for like VIP advantages, and
right,
families that will do that. And then you'll have other people who try and, piggyback off of that. But the thing is I do have to step in as management and, separate that and say, no,
right,
I'm sorry, you can't. But at the same time, it's about being respectful to those who, paid for that, because
right,
they put forth for that advantage, and it is my responsibility to make sure that they're given that advantage. And it's not fun to be the bad guy when you're in
right,
management, when I do that for the convention that I manage. But it's necessary
right,
because it's about making sure that all the attendees have a fair and good experience, and they're not feeling as though they're being ignored.
right.
So there are aspects of the job that aren't always great, but it's about making sure the show is the best show it can be for everybody involved.
But that's what makes the good stuff better,
Yeah.
is having to go through that and taking care of that kind of thing. I had a situation where this was some years back here in Las Vegas when they had the Star Trek convention over at the Rio. And so I was, had a photo op with one of the stars and Star Trek stars, and they were running late. And I had another photo op with another star, which was Jerry Ryan, if you know who she is. She plays Seven of Nine and so when I got to where they were, doing the photos, it was closed. They were, just closing everything up. It had taken too long, and they were moving on. And so I just said something to the guy at the door. I said, "Gee, I got stuck there. Is it too late?" And he said, "Well, give me just a second." He said, "We've almost got everything locked or put away, but give me a second." And he came back and he goes, "Yeah, Jerry told us to let you come in." And I thought, wow, that was so great, because she could have said, well, no, hey, we got everything packed up and, we're going on. And those are the kind of things that make it a really memorable experience for the fans and shows the commitment and the integrity that those people have towards what they're doing and being there. And so that's always great. Every time I see something like that happen, you know, it's just like that's the way we're supposed to do it. So, but you can't let that get you away from, because she has to be someplace else too at some times. So,
Yeah.
do you ever have that situation where, you've had to step up and say, no, no, we can't do that. And your client or your guest has said, no, 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 let's do it anyway.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
that's one of the better parts of being the bad guy
Yeah.
is, if somebody is, when say a vet comes up and they are going to pay for an autograph and I reach out to take that money and my guest can step over and say, oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I just put the hands up and say, well, they're the boss.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's one of the better parts is I have to be the bad guy and say something. Or if they say, oh, hey, can I do a selfie or can I add this on? And I have to step in and say, okay, that's another X amount of dollars because that's my job.
Sure.
Make sure that, the convention and this and that is getting paid because that's my job.
Right.
But again, they can step in and say, oh, no, I'm just going to do this.
Right.
And nice, because that's their prerogative, is to be able to take care of those people if they are able to.
Right.
And that's one of the nicer perks to being the bad guy is it allows them the chance to be the hero if they're able to. And, so when those opportunities present themselves, that's the flip side, is, I'll take it on the chin and be like, okay.
So it was obvious to me that you really enjoy what you're doing. And I noticed that, at the end of when your guest was, scheduled to leave, I saw you still wandering around to the other, being a fangirl yourself to the other tables and stuff. And I thought I kind of got a kick out of that. I thought, well, that's cool. She's not jaded about what she's doing is what I thought.
Yeah, the thing is, a lot of the time, some of the people I haven't met, and it's, I'll kind of go and walk around and check out the tables. It's
Right.
rare that I get to leave a little bit early. It's
Yeah.
pretty rare that I kind of get to walk around. I love areas like Artist Alley,
Oh, yeah.
which is where local artists and artists that are there getting a table at the convention, independent artists, writers, all that. Oh, I love that. I love it. The amount of talent and things, it's my jam. I love it. I'll go and walk through there. But I'll go and check out some of the other tables. I'll also go and say hi because, I've been in it for a while. So it'll give me the opportunity to go say hi to some of my friends and some of the other actors that I haven't seen in a little while. Or maybe pick up an autograph for some of my kids. I do collect for them, and they are slowly starting to think mom's cool.
Yeah.
They're going to be hitting that age. It's taken a while. Up until now, I've had to take pictures with cosplayers. I'm like, look, mom's with Superman. It doesn't matter if I'm actually with Superman. They
Right.
want to see a cosplayer.
Right.
So, we all want our kids to think we're cool. And mine don't think I'm cool at all. I'm trying.
Well, they will. They get to it eventually.
Getting there.
Yeah.
The oldest is 11. I'm this close.
Oh, okay. Yeah. 2.5 years, and then you'll be
All
fine.
right. He can brag to his friends, then he'll think I'm cool.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm cool. I want to
It's
I'm cool.
when his friends tells him you're cool.
Exactly.
When he's showing a picture of you and Superman, and they go, "Wow, your mom's so cool."
Exactly it. That's what I'm waiting for. Waiting
Yeah.
for the friends thinks I'm cool, because that's going to be the friend I like.
Yeah. So it's there's so much that I want to ask that I'm trying to filter it down into a couple of things. Excuse me. Um, do you have how far will you travel?
It's on the convention,
Okay.
whether or not I'm traveling for myself. That makes a difference.
Right.
So if I am just there kind of on a volunteer basis, I'll go, I'll go as far as I can afford a ticket.
Right. Well, I get what I was trying to ask, not how far are you willing to go? I mean, I guess, okay, what's the farthest you've been paid to go and be a handler?
That I've been paid to go out. I've gone out to like Colorado and things like that. So within the United States, is where I've worked with agents is
Gotcha.
within the United States. Yeah.
And do you have a convention preference? In other words, horror or sci-fi, or does
Um,
it matter?
what if I had to pick? It's like picking a child. Um, I do like screen, like on film.
Yeah.
If I had to pick like over as far as, you know, voice or every actor is a little different. They all have kind of different personalities.
Right.
Um, if I was to, that's hard to choose. You know, Villains are really nice. Like villains
Yeah.
they are so friendly. Like I tell everybody, meet your villains. Meet your villains. They
Yeah.
are amazing people. They are so nice. So
Well,
nice.
look at the characters that Derek plays.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And
You wouldn't
and
you wouldn't guess it.
yeah.
He is so friendly. Villains are just the nicest. And the voice actor's so nice. They all are just so much fun. I don't know if I can choose. Um, I really like everything. I have my go-to fandoms
Right.
for personal like watching, but I really like all the conventions. They're all a lot of fun. They all kind of have the same feel for me. Just as a handler, it's kind of the same gig,
Right.
no matter who you're with. Um, so it's just they're all around fun. It's hard to choose.
Do you attend conventions that you're not working?
I don't really. The only one that I think I might go to one coming up here really soon with my son, just because there's an actor coming that he's been begging to meet. So I think I might take him to that one. But that would be the first. Well, no, I take that back. That I do attend one out here. Um, it's Superhero Saturday. It's
Oh,
held by
okay.
um, a really great friend of mine. He's a sergeant with the police, and they put it on for charity. It's
Right.
family friendly. It's a wonderful one. It's very small.
I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
Yeah, that one is an extraordinary event that they put on every year. And I do take my kids to that one because it's very kid friendly and
Yeah.
family friendly. Um, and the but the one that I might take my son to, that's a slightly bigger one just because there's someone he wants to meet. So
Right.
I take him to that one. You know,
And that'll give you about 26 cool points if you take them to that one.
possibly, it might
Yeah.
because this is a good person. So we'll see.
Yeah. So we're kind of running a little bit short on time. Is there anything that you'd like us to know about being a handler or going to the conventions or do's and don'ts as a fan that we should or should not do?
Um, you know, uh, if you do want to be a handler, um, guest relation experience is a must.
Okay.
Get some of that. Um, don't, you know, you want to be very professional, extremely professional. Um, it's very important that you understand and listen when you're going through training, because it's meant to help you prepare, even if you're there for line management. If you go in for a training meeting and they're going over their handler things, listen, because it's not out of the realm of possibility that you could get pulled in for it, because conventions are very fluid. um, and that could be your shot, so pay attention.
Okay.
uh, as far as fans go, like I said, don't be afraid to go up and say hi. If you've gotten that autograph, ask your question. If you're nervous, that's okay. Talk to the handler a little bit first, and that'll help your nerves. Um, ask that person a question first, and that'll help calm you down a little bit. They're very nice. They wouldn't be there if they weren't,
Yeah.
and they're happy to answer a question. Don't be shy. They they are glad you're there. So enjoy your experience.
And
Make
we're
that.
glad they're there.
Yeah, yeah, enjoy it. We are having as much fun as you are. I guarantee
That's good to know. That's good to know.
it.
And I've seen some very, very, very old stars at a couple of the conventions. And on the one hand, it's very gratifying. And on the other hand, it's almost a little heartbreaking to
Mm,
see, how much they've aged. And it's because it's okay. You have children. So in your mind, no matter how old they get, they're still your kids.
mm.
And that's the way you think of them, and that's the way so but yeah, it's anyway, never mind. I get off on a tangent here. So, anyway, Alyssa, seriously, thank you very much. I hope this doesn't ruin your career, uh, from being on the show, but, it's, I'm very grateful, and that's why I'm here. It's why we do what we do here at the studio. So, and I'll make sure you get a copy of this. And anything else that you want to give a shout out to anybody or say anything before we hang it up?
No, no, that's it. It's great. You're great. Um, don't worry. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm good. Um, uh, we, are happy to have you all and come to the conventions, enjoy the shows, come say hi. We're happy to have you. Um, thanks for having me. And, I hope to see many more new faces. And it was nice meeting you.
My pleasure. And one last question. Um, were you surprised when I asked you about this interview?
Um, you know, um, Doing a little video one, perhaps, but I get this question constant.
Really? I thought I was the first. And
Then
I'm sorry.
how to
Yeah.
get answer this set of questions every show, at least 2-3 times. People come up and ask, and it's people are curious about it because it's unique, it's fun,
Yeah.
and it's different. Conventions have kind of been cropping up over the last couple decades. Um, the last 10 years, they've been big thing. They slowed down, obviously, around COVID, which was sad, but they've
Yeah.
got their stride again and they're all coming back full force. So a lot of people are very curious about it every time I go, and it's a lot of fun, and I love my family. We have each other's back, and it really is a family, and it's a lot of fun.
Great. Well, Alyssa, thank you again, and I appreciate the time that you've taken. And all of you, remember out there, if you're going to do it with styles.
Nice work, John.